They just missed the finals in season 2021. They're playing at home at the magnificent Nissan Arena, and they're taking on last year's Wooden Spooners to open the Suncorp Super Netball season. And yet, the Queensland Firebirds would probably consider themselves outsiders this afternoon against a resurgent Melbourne Vixens, fresh off a Team Girls Cup that began with a win over the Firebirds, actually, and ended in the title. My name is Will McCloy, as we welcome to the commentary two former Queensland Firebirds captains with a casual 91 Diamonds test between them. We'll get to Sharon Finnan-White, who's on the sidelines a little bit later on. And sitting next to me here in the commentary position is none other than Laura Geit, 71 test caps and 169 games in the colours of the Queensland Firebirds. And Laura, this is going to be a really, really interesting clash. These teams, I mean, how do you know what the Vixens are going to do? They go from the top of the world in 2020 to cellar dwellers in 2021 and now favourites. Absolutely,
and it was just that glimpse we saw at the Team Girls Cup. We have a look at the lineup there for the Queensland Firebirds. We've spoken a lot about Wallum getting the start at goal shooter, Gretel Boetta in the goal attack position. The two captains, Dunkley and Ravalian, in that mid-court. Simpson on the wing defence. Kimberly Jenner will do her very best today out the front of Ebony Azuro-Brown in that goalkeeper position. Ruby Bakewell-Doran, we might see her in defence at some stage. Gemma Maimai and Mia Stoa. We have a look at the Vixens lineup. Comwenda in goal shooter. Kira Austin will get the gig at goal attack. Liz Watson, lots of talk about that lady. She will be back on court after sitting out for that year. Kate Maloney, Eddie Weston, Mannix, and the subs for the Vixens today, Lewis, Mundy and Summerson.
Stars all throughout this lineup on both sides as the Queensland Firebirds are announced out onto court, and they are led by Kim Ravalian, and there she is, the captain. Gabby Simpson, who's out behind her, has been the captain for the past 5 seasons, and now Kim Ravalian takes over in her second season back in her home state. And Ebony Azuro-Brown is the last one out on the court. You can see her there in the goalkeeper. She's only got into the country in January with her daughter. Her husband had to stay at home in the UK because he's part of the Royal Australian Air Force, but she seems to have settled in quite well. And her combination, I guess, with Kim Jenner is going to be extremely important in this defensive end.
Well, absolutely. The Firebirds obviously realised at the end of last season that they really need some leadership down the back in that goalkeeper position. They need a loud voice, someone who directs, and that's exactly what Ebony Azuro-Brown does. Particularly with someone like Jenner out the front, really needs that direction. So excited to see what that combination can do today.
We are underway, and it started with Kim Ravalian and Laura Dunkley, the captain and the vice-captain already, and Mannix gets her hands on one. What a defensive end for the Vixens in Weston and Mannix, a pair of diamonds.
Contact, wing defence.
And a settler now for Danelle Wallum, and a big cheer goes around this Nissan Arena crowd. She is already a fan favourite in her first game for the Firebirds.
Well, she's got big shoes to fill, doesn't she? Taking over from Imelda George. We know she will sit this season out, given she is on maternity leave. So it will no doubt take a little time for these players to get into the rhythm. Round one, there's always plenty of nerves.
A first chance as well to see this attack again for the Vixens in Kira Austin, who makes her debut for the Vixens, and Maui Kamwenda, who didn't play in the Team Girls Cup either. And gee, it's scary for the other teams when you don't have Austin and Kamwenda and you still go through undefeated.
Absolutely. And Austin, talking about nerves, you know, we've seen her sit last season out with that ACL injury, so there'll be a few nerves for her getting out on court. Whether we see her for the entire 60 minutes is still unknown.
Lovely lofted feed into Wallum again, and the Firebirds go up 2-1. Maloney to Watson. How many times are we going to call that throughout this match? Maloney changes the direction of play, and over the top to Kamwenda. Jenner is doing her best there to disrupt the flow in.
We see there Gabby Simpson just strong through that back door as an option instead of the centre pass looking forward. She comes down with great pace.
Both defensive ends looking very up and about for this one. Mannix tries to go over the top. Wallum so strong under the post though, and she It's going to be really interesting to see how Wallam and Bueta combine because it's a little bit different to Romelda, George.
Absolutely, and that is sometimes the best thing about a player that's come into the season. Nobody has expectations of them. They've got the underdog status, and they just play with no fear, which sometimes sees someone play a really good first season.
Austin off the one step, and the Vixens drain another one.
You can see on that centre pass for the Firebirds, Vixens just pressuring Gretel Bueta. Just a footwork error there, a little too fast for the umpire's lightning.
Eddie, double team, Wallam gets a hand on one, Eddie gets it back. Weston, Maloney, they're looking for a way into the forward third. Watson, lovely pass to Kamwenda. Kira Austin just looking so steady early on as the Vixens go up by one. Just a tick over, 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Packed house at Nissan Arena. Kamwenda goes back.
At the moment, the Firebirds are just playing a box defence, so they're off the body, but Kamwenda in the air, she's just too strong, isn't she?
Just stars all the way down the court from diamond to diamond to diamond, and then ending in Maui Kamwenda.
Centre, third centre. Yes. Contact, wing defence.
You can just see the difference in defensive setups for the Vixens. They are marking their own so tightly, so it's that one-on-one defence. Jo Weston, we spoke pre-game about the niggling game that she loves to play just to get under those attackers' skin.
Wallam and Bueta up against Weston and Mannix is just the key part of this entire matchup. All superstars in their own right. And then, of course, down this end, you have Austin and Kamwenda, who leaves that one a little short.
Kira Austin, she's already sitting at 7 Nissan net points, so a great start for her. It's a fumble there from the Firebirds, and Kate Eddy comes up with possession. An opportunity to go 3 ahead here on the scoreboard for the Vixens.
They can't convert though, and the Firebirds get a reprieve. Simpson to Revalian, former captain to current captain, and then back to Simpson. Bueta comes out for the option. Hands up, and lovely weight there from Gretel Bueta. She just looks so relaxed. We had a chat to her before the game. She's just smiling, waving at the crowd, no pressure whatsoever, and that's when she plays her best netball.
Absolutely, she's a star. She brings so much energy to this side. When she's dangerous is when she's just relaxed and enjoying the game.
Too deep for Kamwenda.
Kamwenda just puts her hand up there and says, settle, take a breath. Vixens are such quick ball handlers. At times it can be also their biggest disadvantage. Oh, little fumble there from Dunkley, but she keeps it in. Now the umpire's got different ideas, though. Vixens throw in.
Not quite, but there's a fine line between fluid play down the court and just rushing it a tiny little bit, especially in the first 5 minutes of the season. Eddie, Dunkley gets a hand on one. Watson cleans up.
And that's what we're seeing, Will, in this opening quarter is some nerves, some drop balls, some fumbling. That's to be expected for the first game of the season. Beautiful pass there from Kamwenda into Austin under the post.
So Vixens up by 2, and an HCF timeout. 90 seconds. As always, and it's about which team, I suppose, settles into this one first.
Absolutely, it's just a bit of a breather, a time to settle for the coaches just to touch base with their players. We'll get in a moment, we'll listen into what Megan Anderson has to say to those Firebirds girls, but absolutely, just a chance to reset and have a breath.
Off the circle rather than pockets if there's a middle. Yeah.
Firebirds breaking off into attacking and defensive ends, just resettling after what was a manic first 6 or 7 minutes of this game. And there's been such a long build-up. It feels like there's been a long build-up to the start of this season. These two teams would have watched the two great games yesterday. Obviously, the Thunderbirds getting up by 4, the Giants doing the job with some clever play in the last 90 seconds to beat the Swifts in that battle of the bridge, and just wanting to play so much and for the season to arrive. And now it's about settling into the work as Dunkley finds Wallam again. And I just love everything about Danelle Wallam. I love her story. I love her just humble nature and exactly how good she is. And to come in as what a lot of people think might be a bit of a like-for-like replacement for Imelda George after 15 seasons in the purple of the Firebirds is...
Gabby Simpson gives her 2 claps. She's happy with that one. That's what she does so well, is just contest that ball, lift the spirits of the team. We just see there a little 2 up and a tap out just to lift the spirits of this Firebirds defence end.
And the defence is up and about. Austin just so calm with it.
Will, you speak about Danelle Wallam and her introduction into this first game. She's sitting at 100%, so 5 from 5. An amazing start from her, particularly when we're so used to seeing Gretel Boetta sharing the load, but they're having no trouble finding her under the post. She's so strong as we see her there again, just demanding the ball, which is exactly what you want from your goal shooter.
Yeah, as I said, so humble off the court, and I've heard her say things that make it feel like she second-guesses herself and second-guesses the quality of her play, but you don't see it when she's out on court. She demands the ball. Obviously, in the WANL, she was so strong for 2 seasons, never played ANL, went to Leeds under Dan Ryan, and just kept proving to herself that she belonged at this level, and then obviously took 6 weeks over here, and everything's fallen into place for Danelle Wallam. She's going to be a Nissan net points monster, I can tell, because she can shoot the super shot as well. And Gretel Boetta, meanwhile, just doing what she does.
Absolutely.
Incredibly agile.
I asked her the very rude question a week ago about how old she was. I assumed that she was just a young gun on the scene. 28 years of age, so I probably can't disclose that information. As I said, it's rude to do so, but I think just the message that gives to so many netballers out there, it doesn't matter what point of your career, what age you are, she's just said yes to the opportunity and seized it, and here we see her out on court doing a fabulous job.
Yeah, she swept all before her, and she's arrived in the premier netball competition on the planet. And at the moment, though, it's the Vixens up by 2, 6 minutes to go, or just about the opening quarter, and Wallam maintains her 100%, keeping the Firebirds in this one. Austin. Clash between her and Jenna, hands off. Vixens maintain a 2-goal advantage. We're getting close to the power 5 where we see the Super come into play.
Joe Weston just read that one. It was like it was sitting up there forever, but Firebirds just turning and delivering that ball into Wallam.
1 goal in it. Maloney on the edge of the circle. Lovely ball again, makes it look so easy. But Jenna and Revalian were right there. There is the 5-minute hoot up, and Austin puts one short. Austin now 6 from 7. Kamwenda shooting at 100% as well, as is Wallam with 8 from 8. And Boetta adding 2 of her own. Dunkley on the transverse line, the captain to Boetta. Has to go back. Here comes the first super shot attempt, and it's good. All the confidence, big smiles, and why not? Arguably the best goal attack in the world. 12 goals apiece here at Nissan Arena. Maloney Soro Brown giving Comwenda no space. She gets the forward position though.
And this is where the mental game comes into it. Firebirds have just sunk that super shot. Do the Vixens follow suit, or do they stay with the one-pointers?
All right, come on, buddies, let's go.
Vixens' defensive pressure down here has been amazing. That one-on-one contest, they're going for everything.
Would have considered a second super shot there, but Weta instead finds Wallum under the post.
It's probably interesting to say too, given this is the third season of that super shot, coaches, players have got some data. Oh, Gabby Simpson, up and about. She likes that one. Great work there from Gabby Simpson coming up with that win for a team.
Well, from one Queensland Firebirds captain to another former captain, Sharon Finnan-White is down on the sideline. And Sharon, how are you seeing this first 10 minutes or so of this one? It's pretty manic.
Oh, absolutely. Every ball is hotly contested. I'm so impressed with Donnell Wallum's start. I think she's only going to get better from here. I was listening to Simone McInnes on the bench during that first time out. She was asking Mannix and Weston to mix it up and not just double defend, but to come off as well. So let's see if that happens for the last dying moments of this quarter.
Yeah, that's really
Shot number 2 for Bueta.
Beautiful work there from Gretel Bueta, but really interesting just to hear what Sharon said from the coach, Simone McInnes, just to mix it up. Gretel Bueta, if she's left alone too much, she can do so much damage, but we see Kira Austin line up for that super shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't sink for the Vixens.
Well, the Firebirds have had a nice run at the back end of this quarter. They lead by 3. High-scoring quarter 2. Simpson, middle lane to Bueta, straight down to Wallum. Shaping up to be a lovely combination. And another HCF timeout with 1 minute and 52 seconds to go in the opening quarter. The Firebirds up by 4.
How good is this? Double Vixens first timeout for the game.
Quite a run for Donnell Wallum. 11 from 11, shooting 100% in the opening quarter. 26 net points for her. Gabby Simpson's got a hand on a couple too. She's got 21.5 net points. And I don't know, I'm just really liking what the attacking end is bringing. We'll have a listen in.
All 2 points, just double defend on the shot. And don't get caught up in that. That's simple. That's fine. Don't get caught up in the twos. Let's go, really go. It's all 3.
Now for every successful Suncorp super shot today, and we're seeing one right now, Suncorp will donate $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation to help the foundation continue their work in keeping girls in the game. Now they do this through a variety of programs, including the community response grants. This is great to help clubs, associations and members impacted by the floods, which we all have in our recent memory in Queensland and New South Wales. Now for more, go to cgf.raisley.com for that, and we've already seen a couple of super shots as the Firebirds set up to go again. Dunkley, Trevelyan, beautiful over the top to a strong target in Wallum, but it won't come off.
Worthwhile to mention there, Will, you mentioned the floods, and the money from the Suncorp Super Shot goes towards so many people that are in desperate need today. We've got the Raiders netball team in the crowd. They're sitting in a box. Unfortunately, they were completely flooded and lost everything, so great to have them along here today.
Vixens pull one back, 17-14 now it is, a minute 15 left in this one. And they have the possession as well. Comwenda uses all her 3 seconds, finds Maloney. Firebirds, most penalised team in the competition in 2021, averaged 7.5 more than any other team. It all came from the defensive end though. And now obviously a new defensive pairing with Emnia Suro Brown. Watson over the top.
Well, that's right, Will. We know that she is a physical player. She loves the intimidating factor of her game, but Kimberly Jenner currently sitting on the most penalties in this game. She's on 7 and also very costly last season. So that could be a great thing that there's obviously, you know, that presence there from the defensive end. Wallum, what an absolute star. How on earth she managed to stay in court and turn around. Just incredible.
15 seconds to go, 18-15, the Firebirds still with the advantage. Kamwenda hands off to Austin.
Austin lucky to get away with that one. Just a few jitters, just not being able to sink those shots under the post.
And they ran out of time in the end. The clock beat the Vixens, and they are up against it, the premiership favourites. The Firebirds up by 3. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back as the action continues right here on Fox Netball. Welcome back to Nissan Arena, where the Queensland Firebirds, we're in the huddle right now, are up by 3. Quarter time. Thanks very much to Origin Energy, and plenty of chat here between Lara Dunkley and Megan Anderson as well. What a fantastic opening quarter it was, though, for the Firebirds. Plenty of people thinking that the Vixens would come out fast, as they did. But the Firebirds, especially through Danelle Wallum, 12 from 12. They haven't missed a shot yet, the Firebirds. They've started well.
Absolutely, they have. It's been a dream start for them. Danelle Wallum obviously doing a power of that work, sitting at 100%, as you say, Will. But the great thing about having a player that hasn't been seen before is they don't know what to expect. They don't know what works well against them. So for this defensive end for the Vixens, they're working out what Wallum likes, what positioning she likes. We just heard Megan Anderson there turn to Lara Dunkley and say, just turn and deliver that ball in so quickly. And that's what they've been doing so beautifully in that opening quarter.
Yeah, when it works, it works. And sitting on the sideline here is exactly the same as out there on court. Turn and deliver to Danelle, and she will do the job. And that's certainly what's happening at the moment. A couple of super shots to Gretel Boeta in the last 5 minutes of that one. And that sees the Firebirds up by 3. And the Vixens, well, I guess right now we're going to see exactly what they are made of. They've got a team of superstars, we know that. They waltzed their way through. Oh, they were pushed, but they finished well against the Swifts and against the Fever in the Team Girls Cup. But they played a level above everybody else, and you can see the team that they've got out there. But right here, when it counts in round 1, we're going to see whether the Vixens can respond, and especially off the back of the inclusion of Liz Watson right there on your screen, the Diamonds captain, who is probably, if not the most influential player in the game, she's got to be in the top 3.
Absolutely. The entire club, the Vixens club, has so much pride. They've been around for 25 years. These women play for their state. When you look at the likes of Maloney, she's played 10 years for this club. Simone McInnes, one of the greatest wing defenders of all time, also serving the club for 10 years in that coaching role. So do not count them out yet when you see a play like that from Jo Weston. This team will play until that final siren.
Yeah, getting in there on that short pass, Weston. Letting that ball go quickly, Austin. And over the top. Kamwenda push too far wide, though. Not this time. First blood to the Vixens. And speaking of the Vixens, we'll go down to Sharon Finnan-White. Sharon, you were listening in on Simone McInnes there at quarter time. What did you hear?
Yeah, that's right. Simone McInnes she had a word with Kate Eddy. She was talking about getting more hands over the ball to force that ball up higher so the defenders can come and have a crack at the intercept in that back space. She had a word with Emily Mannix in terms of her positioning on Danelle Wallum. She'd like to see her on the move a little bit more on the body so she can come around into that back space when that ball is lobbed in.
Really interesting to hear that Eddie obviously had that direction from McInnes when we went to that other huddle for the Firebirds. It was all about turning, as we see Dunkley there. She's just looking to give that ball straight into Wallum. That's what McInnes wants. She wants Eddie to delay that and give the opportunity for Mannix to get her feet around the body and really spoil that feed that looks far too easy at the moment for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Dunkley eyes up and letting go as she does again. Mannix in the front position, beautifully weighted though there from Dunkley, and Sharon's getting so much insight into the Vixens huddle. I feel like she's sitting in the middle of the Vixens huddle. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Have a look there at that beautiful ball straight into Wallum, and just far too easy for the Queensland Firebirds.
There you go, the Nissan net points at the bottom right of your screen. Screen? Screen. It's not on your screen. It's not on your screen. And the two shooters leading. There's all these hard names to say, and instead I said squeen. Oh dear.
I feel like that might catch on, Will.
It will now that you said that. Meanwhile, Maui Kamwenda, I hope I pronounced that correctly, drains another one. 2.5 gone in the second quarter, and it was too far even for Gretel Boeta.
Yeah, the momentum of this Firebirds outfit just has swung a little bit. You can just feel the intensity of the game coming out. This is where the Vixens really can capitalise on this opportunity.
Incredibly fast first 15 minutes, and now it just seems to be settling into a bit of a rhythm.
I want to just draw your attention, Will, to the 2-goal attacks at the moment. Kira Austin, we know she's coming back from that ACL injury. She's sitting at 3 Nissan net points at the moment. If you compare that to Gretel Boeta, she's at 20.5. So someone's coming back from a major injury like that, you don't expect them to set the world on fire. But when you've got someone like Kumwenda sitting at 12 from 12, Vixens would be wise to give that ball. We just see an error there to Kumwenda. Play Kira into the game a little bit, get her confidence up.
When do we see Rani Samuson is the question.
Well, absolutely. We know this time last year she was the one that did all the assault to the Queensland Firebirds, sunk that super shot in the dying moments to take the win, and such a confident young player. So at any stage we could expect to see Samuson come on.
Lovely pass, Dunkley turns and delivers again. The pathway already well trodden between the pair of them as Wallum picks up goal number 15. Watson, Eddie, Maloney back and forth into the forward third. Austin needing to come forward, provide that option, and gets a settler here in the second quarter. Boeta, lovely over the top, but Mannix nearly spoils it. Wallum comes up with it though, but she got close that time.
Yeah, Mannix just getting fingertips to that one, so her positioning was a little bit better on that feed, and the hands over pressure out the front. Firebirds have to be careful though. Mannix has got good positioning there, so she just needs to persist at it and stay. Oh, Lara Dunkley puts her body on the line.
Austin not put off by the, slow net point start as it is. We see Dunkley hit the ground, immediately bounce back up, the new vice-captain. Good to see Austin still shooting from distance, rallying forward, and again, it looks like they've been playing together for years.
Absolutely it does. It looks like that connection has been there for years, Well, so strong. And just playing with no fear, I think that's when the Firebirds are most dangerous, is when they're just out playing to their strengths and not thinking too much about what they're setting up out there.
5 goals apiece in the second quarter. 3 goals remains the difference as Maloney cleans up. Oh, maybe a step on the ankle there. I'm a little bit gun-shy after Sam Wallace yesterday. We still don't know exactly what the verdict is, but we're all hoping for the best for the Swifts goal shooter, especially with the Commonwealth Games coming up. 4 goals to the good. Last time out when they met in round 14, 2021, the Firebirds won by 4, but the Vixens had the wood over them in the Team Girls Cup. As we reach the midway point just about of the second quarter, and it's just flowing by this one. I say that while everyone just stands around on court for a second.
You can see Mannix there just working her feet around the body of Wallum, trying to get that good position.
It's in the one. It's in the one. Not defense, it's in the one.
You don't want to be marked by Joe Weston.
Absolutely
He's
not.
wearing Donnell Wallum at that point like a coat.
And that's the greatest strength of her game, is that she just wears and wears. As we see just in back play here, Olivia Lewis debuting for the Vixens, given the opportunity. Mannix to the bench, just wanting to mix things up and see what change. Again, Kira Austin just ringing out. Comes back though for the penalty. The throw in, I should say.
It's been a difficult Vixens debut for Kira Austin, who hasn't played a proper competitive game since the Constellation Cup started last year. But Olivia Lewis gets her shot back at goalkeeper against Donnell Wallum. So 2 debutantes, one for the club and one for the league in the goal circle.
See there on screen, Simone McInnes just spending a little bit of time with Emily Mannix. She's probably made the move and let Mannix just come off the court and see what Wallum's doing. Sometimes that can just be such a benefit to the player to see it from a different angle. But Wallum, just her movement, her hold is just so strong and definite, which is making it really easy for the feeders to see where they should put that ball.
Yeah, she's showing us she's got plenty of agility and movement as the Vixens go end to end, and Maui Kamwenda puts in her 17th from 17.
She has had an outstanding start to this game too. So strong, also demanding the ball.
Rebellion over the top and fingertips from Lewis, not enough. Wallum picks up her 19th as she nears now 40 Nissan net points. And still with 7 minutes or 6.5 minutes to go in this half. Austin. Maloney, Austin provides the option again and lets it go to Kamwenda. Found herself in space in front of Jenna, and that one sneaks in. 18th goal. Pace going end to end now as Dunkley reaches out, goes over the top and double teamed. And they're getting closer and closer, the defence for the Vixens, but not quite yet. Smart play with Rebellion.
But that's their game plan. That's the Vixens' game plan. They just stick at it. They stick at it. They don't expect to see the rewards in the first quarter, in the second quarter. But come the third and fourth, that hard one-on-one defensive pressure is what builds. So see them stay on that game plan. And you would suspect that that lady on screen, Jo Weston, will come up with the wins when it counts.
The whistle blows again. We'll head down to Sharon Finnan-White. And Sharon, you've noticed something with Kim Jenner.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment on her overall defensive, I guess, movement. I'd really love to see her step up onto Kira Austin a little bit more. In one of the breaks when I was down at the Firebirds huddle, Megan Anderson was talking to Kim about staying closer for longer. So I think she's coming off the body too soon. So I think she just needs to hang on there a little bit longer, and she may get some hand to ball.
How about the high five from Gretel Bueta after Donnell Wallum just does a Gretel Bueta and goes with the layup. She's feeling confident. She's definitely one of the confident girls at the moment. And at this end, they've got to keep doing the job to stay in it, and they go to their strength. We're into the Power 5 for the second time. First time around, it was 2 super shots. Suncorp super shots to Bueta, who's got the ball in hand. Sends it over to Rebellion, who gets the bump.
Step back, go attack, step back with her. Yes. Structure. 3 players, goes out in the 2.
What does she do here? Does she go for the Suncorp super shot? You would have to think so. Just rings out there. Olivia Lewis quick to the crumbs.
In hindsight, she should have passed to Wallum. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But when you're 2 from 2, you go for it. They've also 3 goals to the good. Eddie Dunkley gets a hand on one. It's hard done by, but that's what defenders do. Kamwenda. Watson looking for options. Austin's on the under the post. She's forced to come out.
Well, Kamwenda, she's going to line up for this Suncorp super shot. She knows.
Good defence from Asuro Brown.
But great rebounding from Maui Kamwenda just to clean up her crumbs there.
HCF timeout. Firebirds Started this quarter, 3 goals up. They remain 2 goals up, and it's been a very entertaining quarter as both teams settle into their combinations. And this has got all the hallmarks of an absolute classic on Kayo Freebies, live netball every single Sunday. And we'll try to have a listen in here. Of course, ad break free throughout play, so we get to listen in each and every time.
Can you take the drive first down to the transverse and clog them up, and then it will open up space outside? Olivia is Lewis is open the other day. Yeah, no, it's been the fake. Make sure you get in quick. So as soon as you pass it, you've got to get in, bring a defender off the inside person. Let's go, guys. Lift here. Let's go. Last few minutes. Let's go. Heartbeat everywhere. They're going to purple D, all right? They're going to suffocate. Let's go. Heartbeat on 3. 1, 2, 3. Heartbeat! Let's go.
Here is the Harvey Norman replay, and there is the layup from Danelle Wallum, who has spent 25 minutes in Suncorp Super Netball and is feeling very confident with her position in this team, and why not?
Just want to talk about Gabby Simpson for a moment. She's had a great outing in this first game of the season. We know that she's been captain of this club in previous years. She's stepped down from that leadership role. And I think it's one of the best things for her game. She can focus solely on the job she has to do at hand already. We see in this game she's had 1 intercept, 2 deflections, and just 3 penalties. So it's when she plays best is when she's got no other responsibility. So looking forward to seeing what she can do this season for the Firebirds.
Wallum with goal number 22. And we head back down through Watson to Austin. They set up again. Eyes up. Oh, it's been flirting with the 3 seconds, and this time it's too long, and great pressure from the Firebirds.
And will you have to, you mentioned before, Rani Samuson, when will we see her on the court? Well, you can see her standing in that substitution box on the sideline. And Simone McInnes has to do something with this Vixens lineup. In this attack end in particular, it's just not penetrating through. Let's see what Samuson can do.
Well, she'll be feeling pretty good, Samuson, given that she debuted last year against the Firebirds, hit the match-winning super shot after the siren, scored 27 goals at 93%, picked up the MVP. It's pretty hard to get into that game number 2 after that. You also have to retire after that one. But she was in also for the Team Girls Cup, did a great job as well. And bench depth is going to be a key part of season 2022. And we'll see what Samuson can do, but you're right. Simone McInnes has to do something over the top from Kumwenda, and this time Lewis gets a finger on it. 30-28, 150 to go. Super shot in effect, and Wallum's going to have a go at it. Looks good. No, too long.
Quick transition from the Vixens. Samuson hands on the ball for the first time, and Kimberly Jenner just making her presence felt.
Samuson on court.
Centre, you're out of play. Centre, no talking when you're out of play. Hold, goal defence. You've got your arms up.
Starts off more. I thought she was going for the super shot. Instead, she finds Kumwenda, who picks up goal number 21 of 23.
Contact with your face.
Minute 10 to go. 1 goal separates these two.
Oh, Olivia Lewis, yeah, great positioning from the defender there, just getting the penalty against Wallum. She did a great job in just moving her feet around and getting the umpire's attention, I should say. So a great little win there from Olivia Lewis. I like what she's done since coming on the court.
Weston rises up between Boetta and Dunkley. Maloney switches play. 39 seconds on the clock. Vixens with a chance to level it up. And they do through Samuson. 30 goals apiece. Time to eat up the clock and drain one last one before the halftime break. Watson over the top. Kumwenda in super shot range. Big moment from the Vixens and from Kumwenda. 10 seconds left. Dunkley, Buena wants to be in the white, isn't. Now she is, though. Really well-timed jump there from Lewis, and that is the end. Lewis did a great job there of disrupting Buena's fourth attempt at a super shot. And despite it felt like the Firebirds had the ascendancy for good periods of that half, the Vixens have found a way to lead by 2.
Absolutely amazing finish there from the Melbourne Vixens, and Summerson's introduction onto the court just seemed to bring a bit of a calming effect to this Vixens lineup. So, as you say, Will, heading into the halftime sheds, 2 up, which isn't really a true reflection of the last 30 minutes of netball just played. So great job front there from the Vixens.
I talked about bench depth quickly, and we obviously see that with the Swifts. They've lost a bit of depth on their bench, and that's what took them to the title last time around. We'll get to that in just a second. Right now, we'll get down to Sharon. She's got an interview with us.
Danelle, an outstanding performance from you. How's it feel out there?
Yeah, it feels really good. I think we're combining, like our combinations are working really well, and we just need to play like we did in that first half, the first quarter, across the 4 quarters, and I think we'll be great.
Well done. We've had a great start. All the best for the second half.
Thank you. Thanks.
Danelle Wallam, we're going to be hearing from her plenty. It was a 17-12 quarter that has propelled the Vixens into a 2-goal lead. And don't forget that the action keeps on coming here on Fox Netball after this game. The final game of round 1, and it's a big one. The West Coast Fever still looking for a maiden Super Netball title, and under new coach Dan Ryan taking on the Sunshine Coast Lightning, boasting no less than 5 new faces. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Fox Netball, and we are in for a belter of a second half here at Nissan Arena between the Vixens and the Firebirds. The Firebirds had all the running early on, but the Vixens, as they do, despite probably not playing their very best netball like we saw in the Team Girls Cup, they've managed a 17-12 quarter. And on your screen there is Megan Anderson. We're going to talk to her in just a second, and we're going to find out exactly what was said in the Firebirds dressing sheds at half-time. But Laura, give us your insights into what you think about what the Firebirds need to do now, because I feel like they played a great half of netball, and the Vixens maybe have a step or 2 to go, and yet the Vixens are up by 2.
So interesting, Will, just to see the possession stats at that halftime break. Vixens sitting at just 27%. The Firebirds, 73%. Penalties, 43 to the Firebirds, 29 to the Vixens. Those 2 stats alone suggest that the Firebirds should be ahead on the scoreboard, but instead we obviously see the Vixens, thanks to that quick surge home. The Firebirds need to come out firing in this second half. They can't let the confidence rise within the Vixens, which we saw in that second half of the second quarter. So they need to pick up the intensity and really come out firing. As you say, the Vixens just seem to be getting that momentum, working themselves into it. And at the Team Girls Cup, you mentioned their last quarter was their best quarter performance. So we know what they've got in the tank, and we know what can come from the Vixens.
Yeah, they don't stray away from the game plan, but right now we're going to get an insight into the Firebirds game plan. Megan Anderson has very kindly taken the time to talk to us. Megan, it's very loud in here, which is fantastic, but give us an insight, if you can, into what your message was for your team at halftime.
Yeah, it's so loud in here, and it's just great to have a crowd back in here this year after a couple of years with none. But halftime, we just wanted to continue what we're doing well and just make sure we do it all the time.
Next, we obviously are sitting here just amazed at the performance of Danelle, but your mid-court out the front are doing such an incredible job servicing her, giving that ball, just turning and giving. You have to be happy with their performance.
Yeah, look, I think we're working super hard to get these balls, and we know that we can do this hard work, and we want to just take as many passes as we can to get it in nice and safely.
It's as easy as that, Megan. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to the game. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. A goal apiece in the first minute of the third quarter as Eddie hands off to Samuelson, who stays on the court after coming on late in the half. And she'll take the shot from just under 3 metres. And it is good. So good to get that kind of access here on Fox Netball to talk to the captains prior to the game in the warm-up, and then the coaches. We can't thank them enough for that as Danelle Wallam does what she does and picks up goal number 23. 2 goals it remains. Weston, big clash between Simpson and Watson. A smile from Gabby Simpson. Watson just gets on with the job and gives it to Samerson, who shoots from super shot range. I don't want to get that wrong. Shoots from super shot range, even though it's not worth the 2.
Well, she just oozes confidence, doesn't she? She just asks for the ball, turns and delivers. Such a young, promising talent is down the other end. Another young, promising talent, Olivia Lewis, comes up with the possession. Here comes the Vixens.
There's a little bit of a sense of inevitability about the Vixens as suddenly it's out to 4. Kamwenda with another one. And you talked about penalties. They're coming from the defensive end once again, as they do, obviously, but from Kim Jenner, who I think at half-time, well, now she's on 17 penalties, which when you compare to the defensive end, well, the other end, nowhere near that amount of penalties, and it just adds up over the course of 4 quarters.
Yeah, it does, because it takes the pressure off when you're working so hard in that one-on-one pressure, and you're working for the 2 seconds, and then on the 3rd second you get called for the penalty. It gives the shooters that chance to the free shot. You know, you're standing out of play, so whether Kim Jenner just needs to pull her game back a little bit, maybe just not contest the ball as much, or be a bit measured in what she's going for and what she's not going for. We know that Ebony Azuro-Brown has that physical side of her game too, so it's what they pride themselves on, but they've got to really just assess whether it's working or not. We just see Kim Jenner there though, getting into a good position.
It is a brand new combination, but there is no time to rest when Super Netball competition points are on the line, and Gemma Maimai is on as well. And hands off to another First Nations woman in Danelle Wallam.
Well, a moment in history really, 2 First Nations women stepping out for the Queensland Firebirds, the only 2. Oh, as we see that one, Samerson.
Oh, well, when you're on, you know?
Absolutely, she lines up. Just does it with so much ease, doesn't she? We see there just the Hail Mary in. Thank goodness for the goalpost, the Vixen save.
Lovely little pass from Bowetta to Wallam, and as you say, how good to see. For the first time, 2 First Nations women out on court here at Suncorp Super Netball.
Well, you can't be what you can't see, Will, and an opportunity for so many Indigenous girls sitting at home watching this, wanting to one day represent their club in the SSN. They've got 2 fantastic role models out on court to look up to season 2022.
Simpson, Maimai really utilised that speed as they head up court from Gemma Maimai to Wallam again, and she's missed one super shot, but she's drained 27 of 27 regular shots. Basically faultless on debut in Super Netball. Watson, lovely pass to Samerson. Want better position, get better position through Kamwenda, who's also shot the lights out here, has to be said, but we're used to that.
Well, Samerson and Kamwenda are just playing such a smart game. Their rotations are working so nicely. Just breaking down the Jenner Azuro-Brown combination. Have really built nicely over that last half, or the second half of the second quarter, and heading into this 3rd quarter.
Always good to see a pathway athlete, such as what Rani Samerson is. Came up through the Victorian pathways, playing the VNL since she was 16. And here she is at the elite level, and there she is taking a great ball.
What a pass from Kamwenda, that connection with Samerson. Beautiful shot to finish off a lovely play there from the Vixens. These 2, Kamwenda and Samerson, have a great connection. They both went through rehab together. They both suffered ACL injuries back in 2019, so got to know each other quite well off the court as they went through one of the most... Oh, beautiful work there, Olivia Lewis. So they've done the hard yards together, which counts for so much coming out onto court.
And when you've got Kira Austin, who obviously came over from the Giants, and it's her first game for the Vixens, and you know she's going to hit her straps very early in the season, you've got a very, strong attacking end and options there as well. And the Vixens, well, the Firebirds are hanging in here. It was out to 5 goals. It's now 4, but the Vixens obviously with possession as Weston comes forward.
We'll have a look there at the Nissan net points. Queensland Firebirds collectively sitting on 148, but the Vixens coming to life. 242.5 Nissan net points.
Contact centre. Contact goalkeeper. Pick your leg. There.
Another little cheap penalty just given away, given the opportunity to these Vixens attackers to settle in, have clear vision of the post.
Yeah, can't make it too easy. Back to 5. We head back down to Sharon on the sideline.
Yeah, just talking about the defensive end of the Firebirds. It's just coming in far too easy into Samuelson and Kumwenda. I was thinking that maybe a little bit more protection out front from Simpson and Revillion, like off that second phase from the centre pass might help to slow that ball down into the shooters.
Absolutely, Sharon. They definitely just need to mix up something, whether that's a different defensive structure. Also just seen in back play there, Ruby Bakewell-Doran in that goal defence position for the Firebirds, as we see another turnover there happen for the Firebirds. Just warming up, so whether Megan Anderson's looking to bring her onto the court just to mix things up a little.
Yeah, the last time Ruby Bakewell-Doran was out on court, she took the winning intercept in the Firebirds' final game of the TGC. So, training partner who's been elevated, and we're going to see her out on court probably very soon as we take an HCF timeout, and it's gone from 2 goals to 6, and as we said, the Vixens have another game.
We've called it, Will. We're all over it. We should consider ourselves coaches. Ruby Bakewell-Doran on the court in that goal defence position.
Thanks for including me. I feel special. Samuelson hasn't missed a shot yet and continues. I called that one, so we're even.
There you go. Netball knowledge at its best. Down this end, we've also got some changes for the Queensland Firebirds. Gretel Boetta back into that goal shooter position. Mia Stower, congratulations to her stepping out on court for the Queensland Firebirds in her debut performance.
Just 21 years of age is Mia Stower. As you said, another training partner elevated. Always good to see. We head back down to Sharon. How are you seeing this quarter unfold? The gap's now out to 7.
Well, I was just having a listen to Kate Maloney, co-captain from the Vixens, and she was having a word to her troops there, talking about let's get the ball down to circle edge and more one-on-one defence.
Thanks, Sharon. So good to have players of the calibre of these two alongside me to deliver that kind of insight. And, of course, across the entire Fox netball team, Fox has put together a fantastic suite of experts. Watson,
well, that's just too easy for the Melbourne Vixens, but we see there a pick up for the Firebirds. They escape jail there, and it's a bit of a ping-pong match here at the moment, but that entry into the circle for the Vixens, there's no pressure over the passes. They're just finding Samuson and Kumwenda so easily.
So deflating too, to pick one up, see an opportunity, and immediately see Joe Weston swoop in and snatch it away from you.
And there she is again on screen. Amazing. We called her in that first quarter, second quarter. She does the hard yards, but she comes up with the plays that matter in the moments that count. We've seen just what Joe Weston is capable of doing, particularly in this last 10 minutes or so of this quarter.
Weston 51 missing net points, and Watson 51 and a half, and above them all, now we can win to 65 and a half, 32 of 34, and there's a couple of super shots in there. And now the gap is 10 goals as the Vixens put the foot down, putting that wooden spoon a long way behind them in 2022. Samuson, the option over the back is Kumwenda. They don't quickly enough, and collision there for Bakewell-Doran.
Yeah, that was bad luck. Bakewell-Doran in great position. She saw that ball crossing the court. She was going for it. I would have said that she actually nearly got contacted by the Melbourne Vixens attacker there, but that's what every defender would say.
Yeah, I was about to say that. We've got two defenders alongside me. I bet if I was sitting next to Kath Cox, she wouldn't have had that thought.
Well, there you have it. Firebirds 10 down. Melbourne Vixens. We haven't seen too many super shots from the Vixens. 1 from 4 from Kumwenda. Samuson yet to take any super shot attempts. You get the sense
need to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get this. Well,
Here's one. Kumwenda misses it. It doesn't matter. She's changed her mind. She's going to shoot from underneath the ring, and she's going to get it in. And now it is 11. But I guess there's a situation here tactically where you've got to decide, if you're the Firebirds, at what point do you start looking for the super shot, because you can let it get away from you very, very quickly.
oh, bad luck, Joe Weston. I thought that possession was all hers. But you're right, Will. The Firebirds really don't have the luxury. They need to look at this super shot as an option if they want to crawl back. And that's largely why I believe Mia Stower has been brought onto the court. She is a super shot specialist. Say that quickly.
You slowed down. That was smart. Maloney, Kumwenda.
Bakewell-Doran just getting some fingertips, getting that positioning around the body of Samuson. Get the sense she'll come up with a little win soon if she just persists.
Kumwenda pushes past 70 Nissa net points, and she looks like she's going to fire her team to a win to start the season. Firebirds go back from the centre pass. This time not. Rebellion.
Whole time there's a bib on the ground.
Little wardrobe malfunction there for
On my whistle wing attack.
Olivia Lewis.
Stower.
Here we go, Mia Stower lining up for the super shot.
Oh,
Just rings
gee.
out.
That was a big moment. I think, you know, you get your first shot at it on debut. Big confidence boost. It was halfway in too.
Absolutely had a look, didn't it?
Lewis, Eddie, as they eke their way up the court. Eddie again. Here comes Watson for the option. Finds Kumwenda by herself. Making them fight for it though, the Firebirds. Watson in the pocket, and from super shot range, Samuson hands off.
It's in the 1 or the 2 beside her.
Come on, have it. There you go.
What a beautiful shot, Rani Samuson. One cool, calm, collected customer she is.
13 goals, and suddenly Nissan Arena is quiet. Watson, eyes up, finds Samuson again.
Contact centre.
Oh, she's just...
On fire, Rani Samuson.
What an amazing performance from her, picking up exactly where she left off last season against the Firebirds.
Well, if the first half belonged to a debutante in Danelle Wallam, the second half is looking like it's belonging to Rani Samuson as the Vixens go on a rampage. 14 goals now. Takes the centre pass. Watson. So much movement at the top of the circle from Samuson is allowing Kamwenda to play exactly the kind of game she wants to play.
Little collision there just outside the circle. Leaves a 2-on-1 in the circle, and Stower has to take the 2-pointers just to keep the Firebirds within reach. And she does exactly that. What a shot, Mia Stower.
Big moment and just a little snip for the Firebirds and for this crowd here in Nissan Arena as the ball heads out off the fingertips of Liz Watson. And crucial here for the Firebirds.
Well, they've got 7
to make
seconds.
the pay. There's not going to be enough time, is there? They're going to have to hoof it down court. And they do that. And the siren beats them. 13 goals, a 25-goal quarter from the Melbourne Vixens. There's some smiles on faces, and why not? They have really put the foot down here at the Nissan Arena, and we've still got 1 quarter left to play. Do not miss a moment. "20 minutes ago, we would have said, what a game we have here at Nissan Arena, and 1 quarter later, it is what a performance by the Melbourne Vixens. Quarter time here in Queensland, brought to you by Origin Energy, and 25 goals in the quarter to the Vixens. They have swept all before them so far in 2022, won the Team Girls Cup. They had a bit of an interesting time early on, but now Simone McInnes has them firing.
Simple, work the ball, get it going, and back each other up out there on court.
Let's go, big last quarter, girls. We got heaps of time.
The false alarm from Kate Maloney wants to get back out there.
Well, she's the voice of the Vixens, so to speak, delivering all the important messages, like sit down and enjoy the last little while of 3/4 time.
We've been waiting too long for netball. There's no time for this. Let's get out there. The Firebirds are already out on court. They're ready to go. And we'll head back down now to Sharon Finn and White. And, well, what a quarter that was from the Melbourne Vixens.
Well, Coach Megan Anderson had some stern words for her team. She really wants them to just fight for everything. She wasn't happy with that performance in that last couple of minutes. So in terms of their defence, she wants them to have their starting position a little bit further away because there's no space to come through cleanly for the ball. She thinks that they're starting too close. And Gabby Simpson was saying that they want to commit to the first ball to force the error and just to put them under pressure.
Thanks, Sharon. Great insight as always, but will it be enough? That's the question. Kim Jenner's gone back to goalkeeper now. Ebony Asuro-Brown is taking a break. Still at goal defence is Ruby Bakewell-Dorham, and Donnell Wallam is back on the court as well. You can see her there under the post where she was for the entire first half. No change. Oh, Kira Austin's actually back on at goal attack, and Samuson moved into goal shooter. So a few revolving doors here for both teams as one team looks to solidify their advantage and the other one looks for a way back in front of the home crowd.
And we'll keep your eye on that matchup between Kimberly Jenner and Rani Samuson. We saw Rani out at the goal attack doing a wealth of damage. I like Kimberly Jenner back in that goalkeeper position. I think they need a little bit of firepower down there if the Firebirds are going to get back into this match, and that's one way of doing it, through the hands of Donnell Wallam.
29th goal for Donnell Wallam. She sat the entire third quarter out, and she picks up where she left off. Watson, hands on from Rebellion.
You're holding it. With your arms, yes. Yeah, take a step back. Yes.
I just feel like I'm in trouble when I hear the umpires. Very stern voice. Scares me.
They are scary.
Maloney and Bakewell-Dorham gets the intercept. That's what they need here at Nissan Arena. Now make them pay. That's what the fans are asking for, and that's what Donnell Wallam does.
Beautiful, absolutely amazing from Bakewell-Dorham. And just that quick transition to follow. Finishing off some superb defensive work there, the Firebirds, with a shot under the post. Wallam.
They look a better side. They look a better side with Wallam on court, making sure that those gains that are made in the back of the court are punished, and backed up with a possession from the centre pass that ends in a goal. Western now, Maloney. Austin, who's back on, as we said. Samuelson playing that baseline role now. And there is that matchup between Jenner and Samuelson. Just on your screen, Buetta. Dunkley, eyes up, Buetta, lovely pass. Off the one step, Wallam again. So the scoreboard ticking over, it's back now to 10 goals. And possession.
Well, the Firebirds coming out of the blocks firing. Sharon Finnan-White mentioned Megan Anderson had some stern words at three-quarter time. Well, it's obviously doing the job because they're 3-zip in these opening couple of minutes.
So 58-48, 12:50 to go in this crucial round one encounter. And a goal here, extremely important for a 5-1 start. And now we're down to 9 goals. So if they can get within range when the Power 5 and the Suncorp Super Shot comes into play, the Firebirds just might have a chance here. Lovely connection between Buetta and Wallam. And that's a 6-1 start now for the Firebirds here at home. So round one, the first game won by 4 goals. The second game won by 2, and 3 players on the ground. And Gabby Simpson is up and about, as is Ruby Bakewell-Doran.
I'm loving this defensive combination of Bakewell-Doran and Kimberly Jenner. They're mobile, they're looking for ball, they know they can't sit back and let it come in. They're looking for opportunities. Put Gabby Simpson out the front. What a start from the Queensland Firebirds.
There is the Bakewell-Doran sandwich, but up the other end, it was another one-step layup from Wallam and a 7-1 start for Megan Anderson and the Queensland Firebirds. And it'll be very interesting in this HCF timeout to find out exactly what Simone McInnes has to say and how to stop the rot and how quickly it can turn in Suncorp Super Netball, and that is why we love it. We'll see if we can listen in here to the Firebirds. So much noise in this arena, though, all of a sudden.
Good job, ladies. No matter how many passes you get, let's go. That defense is awesome. We need you two now because we're going to steady. All right, contest. Yes, heartbeat on 3. 1, 2, 3. Heartbeat.
Well, they're up and about, aren't they, Will? The energy in that Firebirds huddle was well and truly happening. That third quarter from the Vixens, 14-25. We often refer to that third quarter as the championship quarter, but this final quarter from the Firebirds leading 7-1.
Olivia Lewis back on court up against, and she did a good job, you've got to say, up against Danelle Wallam. So a reaction there from Simone McInnes. We haven't seen Emily Maddox back since she left in the first half, and Kira Austin was only out there for a few minutes before she has taken a seat once again as well, as we head down to Sharon Finnan-White. And Sharon, what did you hear down there?
Oh, well, trying to hear everything right here. It's electric with this atmosphere, but what they want to continue to happen is to keep working the ball, strong movement, and keep lifting their work rate, because the Firebirds have made a comeback. And Simone, the coach, just said, just breathe.
Good advice in any situation, you would think. And another change up the other end as well with Maui Kamwenda. And why not? She shot 36 of 40. She's back out there. All of the big guns are on court, 58-52, 6 goals. It was 13 goals at the break. It is now 6 goals, 8-1 the run for the Firebirds in the first 4 minutes of this quarter. They only managed 12 and 14 goals in the second and third quarter, and they've run 8 in the first 4 minutes of this quarter. Watson, Maloney, as the crowd takes a breath. Samuelson, who's been deadly with her shooting, drops in hit, her 12th from 12. Down again goes Dunkley, trips over Watson.
two of the strongest, most physical players on court, Liz Watson, Lara Dunkley. Their core strength is sensational, both of them. So when one hits the deck, you know there's a bit of force behind the hit.
Loving what Lara Dunkley brings to this team. Of course, she only arrived in 2020, and to be elevated to the vice-captaincy and to hear Kim Ravalli and talk about her on centre circle, was just wonderful to hear about her, the energy she brings to it, because Rav is obviously someone who is not as vocal. And Wallam doesn't quite get it, picks up the offensive rebound.
Dunkley, ask any one of the Firebirds and they will say Dunkley's inclusion into this team has brought a sense of fun and energy. Her parents have played such a massive role in her career. They've driven her 3 hours, 4 times a week into Melbourne. Those grassroots early days, they're here today and no doubt will be so proud watching a girl just dominate and grab the opportunity with both hands.
60 plays 53. 9-2 the run now. Rebellion. Buena. She looks like she got a knock there, but it doesn't seem to have affected her. And over the top they go to Wallam. Lewis can't do anything about that one. She steps in, Wallam. Picks up goal number 37. 60 plays 54. We're in a 6-goal deficit. It has more than halved in minutes.
Lara Dunkley thought she had that one, stole the ball.
She always thinks she had it. I don't know if you've noticed that. And fair enough too. Oh, down goes Samson and Kamwenda. Bit of friendly fire as Weston too gets collected, and there is no corner asked or given here at the Nissan Arena.
Goal defence contact. Where you are, goal attack.
Sneaky little pass off Samson to Kamwenda just to get better positioning under the post. Nice little settler for the Vixens.
I was about to say that every goal from the Vixens feels like it just settles things 20%, and every goal from the Firebirds feels like it ups it 30%.
Absolutely. Two very different teams in the way they approach the big moments, so to speak. You get the sense that in those crucial moments, the Vixens are calm, they breathe, they're measured. Firebirds love the energy, they ride off of the exciting moments.
It's up here for Buena! Now a moment and back goes Eddie! Wow! Like I said, this crowd rising as one off Gretel Buena. Kate Eddie just pulls the plug out of everybody. And two great teams going at it. Sharon, we'll head down to you. How are you seeing this last 8 minutes?
Oh my goodness, I just wanted to say something about Gabby Simpson and Kim Rebellion. Like, they haven't been out there taking specky intercepts, but geez, they've been doing the hard groundwork, stopping the ball, coming off that first phase off the centre pass, and really shutting down that Liz Watson and Rani Samson. So I just wanted to just give them a bit of credit for the hard work they're doing.
Making those circle defenders look good, hey Sharon?
Absolutely. You know what that's about.
We'll just have a look there at the turnovers from the Firebirds. They're sitting on 17. Melbourne Vixens 14. So Firebirds just a little bit more expensive with ball in hand. Oh, loose ball. Jenna just had her eyes down then. Could have snapped that one up.
Last 2 minutes or so, it's hovering around the 6-goal mark. Who's going to break first here? Are the Vixens going to leave the door just a little bit open? Dunkley. Buena takes the one step. Wallam, but Weston is wearing her. Layup, but this time she can't make it happen. Picks up the offensive rebound. Remelda George, who's done that. In fact, last season, 87 offensive rebounds for Remelda George. The next person, 57. So Danelle Wallam showing she can also pick up her own missed shots.
Defense are out of play.
Remelda just wanted to top one of the stats charts, I reckon.
Suction. Goalkeeper, sorry.
How quick we are to turn on players after they stop playing. It's sort of been gone
Was
for
that
3
really
quarters.
mean?
Come on, please.
7 goals now. 6.5 minutes to go. Bakewell door and short passes throughout. They do not want to be giving up this possession.
And the Firebirds just looking like the tempo's come out of this attack end a little bit. Only one option to the ball at times.
Oh, there it is.
We see there the held ball, and you could sense that it was coming. Just those prelim movements in this attack end have just died off a little bit.
The finals team will keep momentum throughout the final quarter and potentially started second-guessing themselves and haven't thrown as much caution to the wind. They're still up 13-7 in this quarter, but they've still got 7 goals to get back and possibly 8 after this one from Samuelson. They need to keep letting those balls fly to give themselves a chance, because in 45 seconds we're going to see the super shot come in for the Power 5 for the last time here at Nissan Arena.
Contact, centre third, centre.
Watson looks high, finds Kamwenda. Each of these balls so beautifully weighted, they make it look so easy.
Well, when you've got someone like Liz Watson feeding the ball in, of course she makes it look easy. She's one of the best, could nearly say the best in the business at it.
When saw the top 10 feeds of all time in Suncorp Super Netball, Liz Watson holds all 3. Liz Watson 1 year, Liz Watson another year.
Absolutely outstanding. And it brings so much confidence for the attackers just to know that they're going to deliver, or Liz Watson's going to deliver that ball so safely to them. Match leaders, Kamwenda, sitting at 84. We just see another little win from the Firebirds.
It's gone out to 8 though, and you can see there 4 Vixens in the top 5 in terms of Nissan net points. And a lot of that damage was done in the third quarter. If you're just joining us, it was a 25-goal quarter from the Vixens. And we're trying to claw it back here for the home fans. But the Vixens looking extremely strong. 8 goals, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. This is what the super shot was designed for, though.
Well, the Firebirds nearly have to look at getting in super shot position to take this, and that's exactly...
Looks good out of the hand and trickles in, and Wallam with the fist bump. Getting around each other now, Dunkley and Wallam, as we're down to 5 goals.
Unbelievable to see a player playing in her first season, demanding the ball in that super shot territory, turning and delivering. That's exactly what you want from a rookie player.
So humble off the court, so confident on the court as Kamwenda leaves one short, and now leads all comers out there in terms of goals scored, although with that goal, Kamwenda also moves to 42. And we're back at a 6-goal deficit, 3.5 minutes to go. Another super shot here would raise the roof off Nissan Arena. Back. Finds Buetta. Doesn't like the spot. I heard Gretel Buetta say, as we see Wallam go long, that there's some places a super shot is harder than others. So near the baseline seems to be a more difficult place to shoot a super shot. She didn't like how deep she was, went to the top of the circle to Wallam.
I'd have to nearly suggest, in all my goal shooting experience, that at the top of the circle where we just saw Danelle take that shot is actually a really, really difficult place for that super shot. But it's also about where the opposition, or your opposing, or your goal attack, I should say, is positioned under the post for that rebound as well.
They all look difficult to me, doesn't matter where you take them from. And the Vixens have steadied the ship here. Samuelson out, finds Kamwenda.
And the Vixens playing a smart game, just taking the ones, keeping that scoreboard ticking over. Firebirds don't have that luxury. They need to go for the super shot. That one just rolls out for Gretel Buetta.
And they're actively finding super shot. Oh, I'm not going to get this right the whole time. They're actively finding super shot opportunities. And they're not sinking.
And that's exactly what position you don't want to leave.
Oh, what an intercept from Gretel Buetta! Wow, she flew high.
Well, Will, that needs to be finished. That has to be saved on the highlights reel. Any defender would be stoked with an intercept like that. Can she finish off?
Yes, she can! Wow, what a play from the world's best goal attack. Finishes it up with a super shot in the HCF timeout. We're back at 6, a minute 42 left to play, and they just won't go away, the Firebirds.
Absolutely not. through the hand of Gretel Tibbet, and that super shot and some lovely defensive.
Well, but the Vixens are showing why they are currently premiership favourites. They are soaking up this pressure and responding.
Well, this 7 out on court for the Firebirds have such great energy.
Weston so calm.
Contact.
Lovely little interchange of passing there, ending in Samerson, who does the job. And straight back to the centre circle goes Kim Revalian as they push forward. Bueta finds Dunkley heading to the pocket, and his super shot range is Bueta, who can't make it fall again.
Contact and advantage offside. Outside the circle.
Time is ticking away here. Another chance for Bueta. And another miss, and you think that's just about it. Although they get the ball back, the Firebirds, and they come down court again. They need the next one.
Well, they do. They need to get this ball down as quick and as safely as they can and go for the super shot, but the Vixens just seem all that hard work, all that hard one-on-one defensive pressure just paying dividends in this last quarter.
Wallam hits it. But regardless of the result here, Queensland Firebirds fans will like this performance a lot. After getting comprehensively outplayed in the third quarter and in the second quarter, but mostly in the third quarter, they put together a very exciting and free-flowing fourth quarter to give themselves a shot. The time is going to beat them, but the Firebirds, they go down by 5. The Vixens start this season with a victory, and it was a hard-fought one, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was. The Vixens raising the bar in round one. The Queensland Firebirds had some really great glimpses there, but just as you mentioned, Will, that third quarter lost touch a little and left it for the last quarter just to mop up, putting the pressure on them for taking that super shot. They'll take a lot away from that, but the Vixens, as you mentioned, so much depth, so much versatility, particularly in that attack end, and amazing for all Vixen supporters, fans, and the team itself to have Liz Watson back in the fold.
Yeah, look at those stats. Liz Watson, 65 this in net points, 22 goal assists, 26 centre pass receives, 38 feeds, and a deflection to add to that as well. And she's the heart and soul of this team, but there are fantastic stats throughout that team. Maui Kamwenda ended up with 44 of 49 and picked up 89.5 this in net points to lead all comers. And she did it with a minimum of fuss. She did it in a Maui Kamwenda way, which we've seen deliver the Vixens so many wins over the years.
Absolutely, she is an outstanding player. She's so strong under that post. She's so mobile. She comes out, she releases the pressure. And I think Sharon Finnan-White might have the MVP with her right now.
I sure do, Laura. Why, what a performance from you. Congratulations on your MVP award. What got you the win today?
Thanks so much. It's great to get a first win, and it wasn't the way we were thinking to play, but I'm just proud of the girls, the way they put the effort today.
So do you think the performance of the Vixens at the Team Girls Cup helped with today's performance as well?
Yeah, it was great to watch them because I was home and the girls did very well, so it helps a lot for us.
So next week you take on the Swifts. What can you expect from them?
Yeah, it's hard when you're playing like one of the best like setter in the world. I just need to work hard because we're a tough team and we just need to keep working. We're still building the team.
Absolutely. And having Liz Watson back, your captain, how's that been?
Yeah, it's great to have one of the best win attacker in the world in the team, and we are so excited to see how she plays today. It was great.
Well done. That must take give you guys lots of confidence going into next week, and congratulations on your MVP award.
Thank you so much.
Maui Kamwenda is your MVP, and when you shoot 98% and you hit 44 from 45 from within super shot range, well, that's what's going to happen, and you're going to deliver the Vixens a first win. And there is Liz Watson and Jo Weston on your screen, such a big part of this. Let's have a look back. And despite a 70-goal effort, the Vixens had 37% possession.
Honestly,
how does that work?
Honestly, Will, I'm just looking at those stats thinking exactly that. They are going to walk away from this match and go, what are we capable of for the rest of the season? To come up with a 5-point win and only have ball in hand 37% of the time. The penalties there, though, I just want to draw your attention to that. The Firebirds, far too costly, 87 penalties for the entire match. Vixens sitting at 69. They were just whistled out, so something that the Firebirds need to address heading into round 2.